So, when Sun and Moon came out, I decided that I would show you guys my perspective on the Pokemon timeline and what changes the newest games made to it. Well, now I'm going to be doing that again, but with Ultra Sun and Moon. To start, I will quickly go over the timeline that I came up with in the last video. First, we have Gen 1, 3 and their remakes, followed by Gen 2, its remakes, and Gen 4 3 years later. I estimated there to be around 6 to 8 years between Gen 4 and Gen 5, then 2 years after Black and White we have Black and White 2, and X and Y. And finally 2 years later we have Sun and Moon to round off the timeline. It looks pretty crowded, but this is actually very simplified, and I would highly recommend watching the first video that I made on this topic before this one to understand why I placed the games where I did, as well as my attempts to clear up some confusion. Because trust me, it can be really confusing. If you're here just to see where Ultra Sun and Moon fit in the timeline, then it should be pretty obvious that they fit alongside Sun and Moon. They aren't sequels, you play as the same character, they're basically the same games as Emerald and Platinum. The purpose of this video is to explore how some details of these games possibly reveal that the Pokemon series likely takes place in a multiverse of different timelines. The existence of alternate timelines had been alluded to in prior games, but in Ultra Sun and Moon they just slap it right in your face. It's been long established by fans that the more recent games fall into an alternate timeline, where Mega Evolution exists, and the previous generations fall into a non-Mega timeline. As I said in the last video, I believe that if you wanted to be nitpicky enough, then arguably every game counts as a different timeline, but it goes even further than that. Ultra Sun and Moon's Rainbow Rocket segment is fascinating in this regard. The returning team leaders came through Ultra Wormholes, but not just any old Ultra Wormhole like the one Annabelle came through. These guys came from an alternate timeline where their evil schemes were actually successful.